What's up, guys? Rick down here, Holy Moly Outdoors. Welcome back to another episode. I am so excited for this one to showcase to you guys a video that I have not seen done out there. We're going to be doing a bass 2.5 square bill crankbait, no paint, just tape. And it's going to be extremely realistic. So stay tuned. This one's going to be awesome, especially during this quarantine time. Give us something fun to do and get ready for the bite. So stay tuned. We'll catch you in a sec. This is what I'm talking about. A final result. Super realistic. Bass crankbait. No paint. Just tape. So let's get into this, see how you can make one super easy. Alright guys, so how simple and easy this thing is, we're going to dive right into materials needed. First, pair of rubber gloves of some sort. This way you don't get fingerprints or anything else on while you're doing the tape. So put on your gloves, get that step ready. And then we'll go into supplies needed to make this happen. So, got my gloves on. You're going to need a crankbait blank. This is a 2.5 square bill. Believe that I got that off Amazon. So you need a blank. Then we get into the fun of this. It's so simple, guys. You only need a few things. You're going to need some kind of tape, which I use Hypervis tape because it has some really awesome glitter effect into it. Very sticky. You're going to need some scissors. Optional wise, some stick-on eyes to go into the crankbait eye socket. And the main part of this whole thing are these Crankwraps. So what these are, guys, is a photorealistic sticker that you can put on any bait. Now, this could be a already finished bait that you don't like the color at or just want to change it up while you're out there on the water. This is awesome. They come in so many different sizes, shapes, different baits that they'll fit. But today we're doing a 2.5 square bill, as you can see here on the bottom. So we're going to do a crawfish pattern here today, but check these out. Here's a perch one that I did. Just tape, no paint. And guys, let me tell you what, that is going to catch a lot of fish. The wrap alone is super realistic, but that tape just adds a little bit more flash to drive these fish wild. I picked a couple of the favorite colors for my area, a bluegill, a perch, that sexy shad, and we're about to do a really cool crawdad. So I will pull these out to showcase to you what they are. Here's an example of some other patterns for you walleye guys. We'll do another video on that one. But this is what it is. It is essentially a decal card that you guys can utilize. So the first step to make this proper, right, is you guys need to measure the top part. Because we're not painting this bait and adding something on the top of the bait or the belly, we're going to do this with tape instead. So this is where our Hypervis tape comes in. The crawdad has a black top, so we're going to go with the black here. And you want a template this. So I've already gone ahead and cut a template that I used on the other baits. So your top profile of the bait, you're going to want something that fits at the eyelet and goes all the way back to the edge of the bait. So you guys can see that here. This way, when you put the wrap on the sticker, it's going to cover the top corners of this, and essentially you have a fully covered bait, top and bottom. So we will lay our template on our tape. I got the perfect spot here to cut this out. Try and show this all in the same film picture. Boom, just like that. Now you have your tape. Makes it super easy. Cut your slit for the nose, eyelet, and then with this Hypervis tape, I mean, it is extremely sticky, and something that really helps to get the backing off is either an X-Acto knife or just a knife blade. But you just slide it on the back of that backing, pull that off. Take your crankbait. You're going to want to separate that nose piece, and this is where it's a little tricky to get the thing lined up properly. But just like that, you guys can see, we'll go back in there and realign the nose. But you just go ahead and lay that on top. So just like that, go back through. That's all laid perfectly, and you can go up to the nose of the bait where that wraps over. Again, take your knife, try and get that around the eye. Like so. I'm just pulling it apart ever so slightly so it goes around the nose. Then I take the knife, get that to be really nice and flush. And there you go. So now this is completely wrapped on there. So step 1 is completed. Step 2 is going to be the belly. So I have also done another template on the belly for the hook point here for the hanger, right? And then the rest of the belly section that goes till the tail. So same steps here. We're just going to lay this on our tape. This time we're going to use orange to match up with the sticker wrap. So I'm going to start this on the hook hanger template piece. And then I am going to continue to the end with a slight taper as you go down. If you have a little extra at the end of this all, right? No big deal. Again, you can make it as clean as you want. I got a couple little spots that blend nicely. So, then again, you take your crankbait, We're going to line this up with the belly area and about there. I'm going to put my slit slot for that hook hanger. Get that backing off so you can see. Now the belly one can sometimes be a little more difficult, but you line it up at the front end of the bait. Don't want to pull too hard, but you can see where that slit is. So that is now in. And the belly of the bait is now complete. And you can stretch it, you can do really whatever you want to get that to match up how you want it to sit. Now the beauty of using both Hypervis and the wrap is you get to the end and you have a little wrinkles, hit it with a hairdryer or a heat gun and really get that baby to stay. But right now you are done with step 1 and step 2, belly and top. We'll trim the end off just a little bit here. And there's a trick at the end that I'll show you. But there you go. So now all we got to do is apply the crawfish wrap here. And this bait is 90% complete. We've barely done anything. You can whip these out really fast, get them all prepped to this stage with top and belly, and then you can just take your wraps and go. So next step, final piece. Alright guys, so we are in the final pieces of this. We are going to take our crank wrap off the sheet, and it is essentially, guys, just a sticker, right? So you're going to pull it off carefully. There are a couple slits cut there to allow for the wrap to be bent around the blank itself. So what we're going to do is line up that eye socket as best as we can along with the bill area. Again, best as you can. It may not be 100% perfect, and that's where the heat comes into play. But what I try to do next, oops, try and get that nose piece first. And again, what's nice about these wraps is this sticker is extremely sticky. So takes a little bit to line it up properly, get it exactly where you want it. And then what I do is I stretch it out, and you want to work from the middle of the bait out. So just like that, we're pushing and trying to get everything as smooth as we can. Again, you're going to find some creases from the material that we can use a heat gun for. And you'll notice there's always a possibility of a couple spots where you didn't get enough tape or you need to add a little bit. But at the end of the day, a fish isn't really going to care too much. If you want to be perfect on it, you can go back with Hypervis tape, it's really nice because you can completely go back and cut more and layer it in there, and it blends in super nice. But that's as simple as it is, guys. Look at that thing. Looks killer. And I haven't even done anything with heat, nothing. But that thing molds about as perfect as you can get to that bait. Now, optional wise, like I mentioned in the start, you could put an eye on there. It has a great crawdad eye like you would normally have at the rear end of the bait. So we'll put one on up front, cosmetic purposes wise. If I had some just all black eyes, I think that would be perfect for this bait. But right now, we're going to flip the bait over and work on the second side. Again, these Crankwraps, guys, I'll have everything linked in the description below. The blanks, all that stuff. But this has got to be one of the coolest things that I've come across. Definitely got to thank Ben over at Milliken Fishing, because he was the one that did a video with jerk baits and these. And since then, I placed an order right away, and have been talking with the owners of the company. Really cool guys. They have some awesome stuff. So really think this will work great no matter what area of the country you're at. They have some outstanding realistic colors like you can see here that'll work for any time of the year. And I'm just super excited for what this can do for somebody that may not have access to an airbrush, may not have the ability to do that paint, and just want something. Maybe you got a bunch of old lures you want to revive, make them fishy again. It is by far the easiest realistic crankbait you will ever see. We've done this in probably less than 10 minutes only because I've taken the time to explain it to you guys. But this is a 5-minute realistic crankbait. All the tape is smoothed down. We'll go back over with a heat gun, make that perfect. I'll even add a little bit more tape on the belly, and there's a little bit here on the tail that the wrap doesn't get fully to, so I'll just do one strip of that orange all the way around. Really finishes out the bait. We'll add the eyes here real quick, and this baby is done. So sweet. This is gonna smash some monster bass this year. It's got a big one knocker in it. Definitely gonna be a great crankbait, so stay tuned. Alright, so we took a little bit more of that tape and filled it in. Now it has a full orange glitter belly. I wrapped a strip around the tail too to cover up the back. It's only like maybe 1/8 of an inch. You guys, look at how awesome this bait looks now. Absolutely ready to fish, just as it is. Don't need to do anything to seal it. It is fishy right now. But what we're going to do is add a couple eyes just because I like the aesthetics of that. So we're just using some gel super glue. Just going to put a small dot directly in the center there. Really helps with eyes is an X-Acto knife. These happen to be glow in the dark, but like I said, if I had an all black eye, that would look really cool. Use the back end to position it. Get a little bit of that extra glue off. But look at that, guys. No paint, just tape, super photorealistic crawfish. Check everything out in the link description below, guys. I can't say enough awesome stuff. I've been using that Hypervis product for a long time, and now you have the Crankwraps. Super excited. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care and fish on!